People expect the rapture to come like a movie scene, sudden flashes of light, loud trumpets, people disappearing into the clouds. That's what we've been taught to look for, a dramatic event, a cosmic interruption. But maybe that expectation is the greatest distraction of all, because while everyone is waiting for a moment, the truth is something is already happening, and it's not loud, it's not theatrical, it's silent, subtle, and spiritual. The rapture may not come how you think, because maybe it's not one event at all. Maybe it's a process that's already unfolding day by day inside the minds and souls of people. Think about it. How many people do you see every day who are physically present but spiritually absent? Walking around, scrolling through screens, numb to life, unaware of who they really are, disconnected from their purpose. What if the real rapture is already dividing the world, not by physical location, but by awareness? Some people are waking up, they're seeing through the lies, they're shifting their focus inward, they're cutting off distractions, choosing discipline, taking accountability, and others, they're still asleep, still waiting for a sign, still expecting someone else to save them. We keep imagining this massive spiritual shift as something that will happen to us from the outside. But what if it's already happening through us, quietly, slowly, personally, one choice at a time? One awakening at a time. The rapture, as most imagine it, is all about escape. But maybe it's not about being taken away. Maybe it's about being taken above fear, above confusion, above distraction. It's a rise in consciousness, not just a change in location. It's about who's choosing to live awake right now. We wait for skies to split open, but overlook the fact that something far more powerful is already splitting open within us. The division is already here. It's between those who accept truth and those who resist it, between those who act with purpose and those who live in reaction, between those who build their character and those who coast through life waiting for miracles they're not willing to work for. This internal separation is the true awakening. This is the real shift. The signs have been around us for years. People becoming more self-aware, more intentional. Others becoming more addicted, more lost in illusions, more numb to reality. It's not just politics, media, or global events that signal the times. It's the inner state of humanity. And this split, this spiritual rapture, is growing wider by the day. Not everyone will make the jump. Not everyone will evolve. Not everyone wants to. And that's the painful truth. You see, the people waiting for a rapture are often the same people who refuse to prepare for one. They think a moment will save them. A single event, but real transformation doesn't work that way. You don't wake up in glory if you've been sleeping through every opportunity to grow. You don't get elevated if you've spent your life avoiding responsibility. This is not about sudden rescue. It's about slow refinement. The ones who are being taken are the ones who already began the process of rising above the world's illusions. Ask yourself, how do you expect to rise if you won't let go of what's holding you down? Pride, laziness, distraction, ego, fear, these are the chains that keep people stuck. And the rapture, if we're honest, is about who's willing to break those chains, who's willing to do the hard inner work, who's willing to sacrifice comfort for purpose, who's ready to separate from the patterns of the world and align with something higher. There is a cleansing taking place, a calling, and those who are waking up can feel it. The discomfort, the pressure to change, the internal push to stop wasting time, that's not coincidence, that's not random, that's the process, the beginning of the separation, the rise. You're not waiting for it. You're in it, but you only see it if your eyes are open. You only feel it if your soul is tuned in, and you only rise if you respond. This is the moment where decisions matter more than ever, where your character is being measured, where your choices are shaping your direction. Heaven is not a place you wait to go. It's a standard you begin to live by, right here, right now. So stop waiting for the clouds to part and start listening to the call within. That urgency you feel, that restlessness, that pull to step up, that's your sign. The rapture won't happen how you think. It's not coming for you. It's happening through you. People often think the rapture is a matter of being in the right place at the right time, as if salvation will be about standing in the correct spot, being in the right building, or part of the right group. But that view misses something deeper. The truth is, the rapture isn't about where your body is, it's about where your mind and heart are. It's not about geography, it's about alignment. The difference between those who are taken and those who are left may not be physical, it may be internal. A separation between those who are awake and those who are asleep. Between those who are spiritually tuned in and those who are disconnected, numb, and lost in distractions. When you look around today, it's easy to see that this separation is already taking place. There are people who are waking up, not just religiously, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They're starting to see that the world isn't what it seems. They're becoming more conscious of how they live, how they think, how they treat others, how they use their time. And then there are others who are drifting deeper into a sleep they don't even know they're in. Glued to screens, addicted to convenience, running from silence, avoiding self-reflection, chasing pleasure but never finding peace. They're alive but not truly living, present but not aware, surrounded by noise but unable to hear the truth. The rapture, in its truest form, is not about escape. It's about elevation. It's about who rises above the noise, above the manipulation, above the mental fog. It's not about being removed from the earth. It's about being lifted out of confusion, fear, ego, and chaos. That lifting doesn't begin with a trumpet blast from the sky. It begins in the quiet place inside you, where you decide you're done living small, done chasing shadows, done being controlled by fear. It's a personal decision made long before any global event. It's a shift in mindset, a change in direction, a turning point in your spirit, and it's happening now. You can feel it. That internal pressure to grow, to break old patterns, to face yourself honestly, that's not just a phase, that's your invitation. That's the start of your separation from the world's systems and the beginning of your alignment with a higher purpose. But here's what you need to understand: no one else can make that choice for you. It's not about joining a church, saying the right words, or attending the right conference. It's about doing the hard work inside, facing the truth about who you are, what you've been avoiding, and what you're called to become. The world has always tried to define success by external things: money, status, appearance, popularity. But in the process, people have lost themselves. They've become disconnected from what really matters. And so the rapture, as people imagine it, has become about leaving this broken world behind. But what if it's really about transforming within this world? What if it's not about being plucked away, but being raised up in your level of consciousness, your standard of living, your alignment with truth? Those who are truly rising are not always the loudest. They're not always the ones on stages or on your screens. They're the ones who are turning inward, cutting off the noise, and focusing on healing, growth, responsibility, and truth. They're separating, not from the people around them, but from the ways of the world that no longer serve their soul. They're choosing silence over distraction, purpose over popularity, discipline over comfort. That is the real elevation. That is the real being taken. It's not about being physically relocated. It's about being spiritually redefined. When your mindset rises, your life changes. You stop reacting to everything. You start creating. You stop following trends. You start leading yourself. You stop waiting for someone to tell you what to do. You begin to take full ownership of your time, your energy, your future. That's the difference. That's the mark of someone who is being lifted. And it doesn't happen all at once. It happens choice by choice, day by day, decision by decision. And here's the painful truth: not everyone will make that shift. Not because they're not allowed, but because they're not willing. Some people are so attached to their pain, their distractions, their comfort zones, that they'll choose sleep over awakening. They'll mock those who seek truth. They'll laugh at discipline. They'll cling to the world as it crumbles because that's all they know. That's the separation. That's the division the rapture really represents, not between people, but between ways of living, ways of thinking, ways of being. So if you're waiting for some cosmic event to pull you into your higher self, stop waiting. It won't come from the outside. It starts within, right now, in how you think, in how you act, in how you respond to the call to grow. The ones who will be taken are the ones who already chose to rise. There's a common belief that faith alone is enough, that if you just believe the right things or say the right words, everything will work out. But belief without action is empty. It's not enough to say you have faith. It's not enough to speak about your intentions or repeat spiritual phrases. The real test of your character isn't in what you claim to believe, it's in what you're willing to do when no one's watching. The rapture, the awakening, the transformation that so many people talk about, it's not going to be handed to you because of your words. It's going to be proven through your actions. It's going to be revealed through what you sacrifice, what you commit to, what you build when it's hard, uncomfortable, and inconvenient. We live in a world full of talkers, people who know the right things to say, people who post spiritual quotes, share motivational content, go to the right gatherings, repeat the same affirmations, and yet live in total contradiction to those words. They speak of discipline but live in distraction. They speak of change but avoid discomfort. They speak of light while feeding their own darkness. That's not transformation, that's performance. And performances don't elevate your life. Actions do. This is the truth most people don't want to hear. There is no magic moment that will make you who you are meant to be. There's only the small daily choices to show up, to be honest with yourself, to break cycles, to heal from what hurt you, to stay focused even when it feels easier to give in. If you think the rapture, or any kind of divine awakening, is going to happen without your participation, you're not ready. Because transformation doesn't fall from the sky, it is built from the ground up with your sweat, your effort, and your decisions. Look at every major figure in spiritual history. None of them were passive. None of them simply believed their way into greatness. They acted, they suffered, they resisted temptation, they stepped into purpose even when it was terrifying. That's the real walk of faith, not just saying, I trust the process, but actually doing the work the process requires. Walking when it's easier to sit, moving forward when it would be more comfortable to stay still. And let's be honest, if your daily life doesn't reflect your beliefs, what do you really believe? If you say you value growth but continue to stay in the same patterns, do you really value it? If you claim to want to be elevated but consistently avoid discipline, do you actually want elevation? The truth is, what you do will always speak louder than what you say. That's what the real separation is. That's what the rapture will reveal, not just who knows the truth, but who lives it. There's a reason so few people experience deep transformation. It's not because they're not chosen. It's not because they lack potential. It's because they want change without responsibility. They want blessings without sacrifice. They want growth without discomfort. But you don't get the reward without going through the refining. You don't get to rise without first proving that you're willing to let go of what's weighing you down. That's not punishment, that's preparation. Your faith will be tested. Your consistency will be tested. Your commitment will be tested, and how you respond will determine your direction, not how you feel. Not how much you know, but how you act. In this world, it's easy to say you believe in something. It's harder to live it when it costs you something. But that's the gap between potential and transformation. That's the gap between the ones who rise and the ones who stay stuck. And here's the deeper part. Sometimes the ones who seem the loudest about their faith are the ones hiding the most fear. They shout, hoping their volume will cover their inaction. But the truth is, you don't need to talk about your growth. You need to walk it. The rapture won't be determined by who can speak the most eloquent prayer or post the most inspiring content. It will be revealed in the quiet consistency of those who live aligned every single day. Those who choose the narrow path, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. So if you're serious about transformation, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop thinking you need someone else's approval or permission. Start moving, start acting. Let your discipline speak for your belief. Let your habits reflect your values. Let your life be the evidence of your awakening. The world doesn't need more spiritual noise. It needs real examples of what alignment looks like. If you want to be taken, you must first take ownership. Ownership of your mindset. Ownership of your decisions. Ownership of your time. Because no one is coming to live your life for you. No one is going to carry you through your own transformation. It's you and your actions every day. That's what separates the talkers from the transformed. That's what separates the ones who wait from the ones who rise. The idea that time is running out isn't just a dramatic phrase. It's a warning most people ignore until it's too late. We live like we have unlimited days, countless chances, endless tomorrows. But the truth is, most of us don't realize how much time we're wasting until it's already gone. And by the time we're finally ready to act, the opportunities have passed, the people have moved on, and the window has quietly closed. The danger isn't that the rapture will come like a thief in the night. The danger is that it already is coming every single day, and people are too distracted to notice. Distraction is the enemy that wears a friendly face. It doesn't scream at you, it seduces you, it offers comfort, it gives you something easy to reach for so you don't have to face the harder truth. Social media, mindless entertainment, toxic habits, unnecessary drama, these are the things people give their time to while claiming they're waiting for their life to change. You say you want to be great, you say you're waiting for a sign, but you're spending your days avoiding your potential. You're numbing your inner voice, you're choosing comfort over clarity, entertainment over evolution. And while you sleepwalk through your routine, time keeps moving, quietly, steadily, without emotion. It doesn't care about your excuses, it doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. And what's worse is that every second is also a chance you're not taking, a level you're not rising to, a calling you're not answering. That's the real tragedy, not that time runs out, but that you didn't use the time you had. The spiritual awakening people are waiting for is not a calendar event. It's not on the schedule. It's not going to come with an alert or a reminder. It's happening now. It's a spiritual countdown, a silent alarm. The question is, are you listening, or are you still telling yourself there's more time? Because the truth is, the longer you wait to fix what's broken in you, the harder it becomes to heal it. The more time you spend avoiding your purpose, the more distance grows between you and the person you were meant to become. There are people who will go their entire lives never waking up, never stepping into their calling. Not because they weren't good enough, but because they wasted too much time being passive, distracted, afraid. They thought they had more time. They thought someone else would push them. They thought someday would eventually arrive. But someday is not a date, it's a decision, and decisions require action. We are not promised tomorrow. That's not a threat, it's a truth that should push you into urgency, into clarity, into discipline. Because time is not your enemy, time is your teacher. It shows you what matters, what doesn't, and how serious you are. If you say you want to grow, but spend your time avoiding growth, then time will expose your lies. If you say you're called to something higher, but you keep living like you're not, then time will separate you from those who are answering the call. That's what the rapture is. It's not about a sudden removal. It's a gradual revealing of who was serious and who was pretending, who was focused and who was drifting, who was aligning and who was delaying. It's already happening, and time is the tool that reveals it. Every single day, time is peeling back the layers, exposing the truth in our lives. You can't fake discipline. You can't fake alignment. You can't fake effort. And when the moment comes, you either rise with it or you miss it. So the question becomes, what are you doing with your time? Not what are you thinking about doing? Not what are you talking about doing? What are you actually doing? Are you using this time to build something? To heal something? To correct something? Or are you wasting your life thinking you'll get to it later? The ones who are rising aren't better. They're just awake. They see the urgency. They understand that time won't wait for them. So they're cutting off distractions. They're taking action. They're fixing what they can, forgiving what they must, building with what they have, not because it's easy, not because it's perfect, but because they refuse to let more time pass without progress. If you're still waiting for the perfect moment, let this be the reality check. It won't come. The perfect time is the moment you decide to move. Time is running, and with it, the chance to become who you're supposed to be. Don't waste another day thinking you have forever. You don't.